Hello, viewers. I hope you're doing great. Have you ever wondered how virtuous women and women of good character makes the world roll? Over truth, the world over. With good character, women have always brought immense contribution to the affairs of the world. This is what happens in Vrenika Pather'S story Ninema from the anthology A Silent Song and Other Stories. In this story, the central character, Nenema, wakes up at 4 o'clock on Monday morning. She reaps herbs from her garden as she is a market gardener. She earns her living from selling produce to the Indian market. She is respectable and determined, resilient and stoic. Life is tough, and at the same time, Nenema is tough. Everyone knows that she normally faces challenges and she wins. She is respected by all. Her hands are green to imply that she is a hard worker and she plants healthy crops. On the market day in the morning, she wipes her feet and puts on shumpals, ready for the market. She only washes her face and feet using the cold water tap. She does not have hot running water as an implication of her level of poverty. She looks contented with life, but not resigned to the fate. As opposed to most women who normally complain about their situations and resort to very desperate measures to survive. The only tool that Ninema has in her hands is to sigh. Every time she is faced with a challenge, she sighs. A sigh of acceptance, not a sigh of resignation. Ninema is also a beautiful woman. Her beauty has been vividly described from the story. The writer says, she is a beautiful woman. She makes heads turn when she walks. Her hips sway from side to side as she moves her body in rhythm to balance the basket in her head to the market. Her thin chiffon sari drapes effortlessly around her perfect body, as if kept in place by her firm, high breasts. Long toned arms and cinched waist cause men to stop and stare. They turn away in embarrassment when she faces them with her piercing black eyes. The women admire her cheekbones. Ninema is a woman admired by both men and women. Her beauty is inexplicable. Men and women are in unison about her beauty. But Ninema does not let that kind of attention get into her heart. She is focused in earning a living And there is something that we need to learn from Nenema. That is the modern woman, the modern girls, or the modern ladies. She does not resort to use her beauty as a way of unscrupulously earning a living. But Ninema decides to remain focused and to ensure that the kind of attention that she gets from both men and women does not really take a toll in her. That is a lesson as modern women we need to learn from Nenema. Once at the market, she takes off her shumpal and begins selling. We are told that before she prepares her stall ready for selling, she rarely chats with other women because that wastes time. She does not waste any time. It is interesting that women understand her and they do not have trouble with that. Her hard work also shows when she sweats while she works. Superstition also plays a role in the story, Nenema. The first and the last customers must be treated with an extra care. And this is a trade that Nenema learned from her father and mother. And it has been passed down from one generation to the next. When the first customer, called Chinran, arrives, we see the kind of care that Nenema takes. Chinran is a city lawyer, is of Brahmin caste, a caste of the rich. He belongs to the class of the rich. He was some of the first people to support Ninema in her business. And her friends teasingly mocks her that Chinran is in love with her. But Nenema and Chinran all know that there is no relationship that can be between them because of the class difference. Nenema compares any possibility of a relationship with Chinran to the relationship with a white man. This brings about the class difference in this society. In this society, there is a gaping hole, there is a gaping chasm between the rich and the poor. That is also a thematic concern that has been subtly brought out in the story. Ninema's second customer is one Mrs. Singh. Mrs. Singh is very rich, and one thing that she is known for is haggling over prices. She always wants Nenema to bring down her prices. An example is seen when she asks the price for 3 bunches of parsley, and Nenema answers that it is 6 cents. She haggles back and forth with an attempt to let Nenema bring down the price. But one thing that is evident from Nenema's strong character is her fairness in how she deals with the customers. She does not care whether you are Chinran, she does not care whether you are Mrs. Singh, she does not care whether you are poor or you are rich. She is always principled, and the prices remain the way they are. It is also interesting that Mrs. Singh is from a rich family, but one of the reasons as to why she is bargaining is that she wants to spend time because she is bored back at home. She has a large empty room with servants to do everything that she wishes. So it brings out the idea that sometimes the rich also cry. And this I can explain by expounding on Osari Willis' philosophy of the grass away philosophy, where the poor may think that they're not living their lives and they may want to be as the rich. But sometimes the life of the rich, the relaxation, also boils down to the boredom. They are bored in their lives. Lunchtime is the busiest day at Nenema's stall. During lunchtime, that is when clerical officers and professionals come to pick their herbs for the evening meal. It is interesting that Ninema pays personal interest at each and every customer of hers. And of course, the interest is genuine. Ninema knows whose son is far away in India studying to become a doctor. She knows whose customer had his daughter get married the previous day. She knows the family that moved in to their new house recently. And this also adds something to her business. She comes out as someone who is concerned and not just seeing her customers as mere robots who give her money, but she goes ahead to even find out how her customers are doing away from the business circle. Nenema is also optimistic that one day she is also going to own a house of hers, away from the bullying landlords, and a home where she will finally have a kitchen on the inside. She will have running hot water. That hope and optimism really brings out Ninema as someone who, in as much as she accepts her present condition, she really believes that one day, through her determination, she is also going to own a home of hers. Finally, there is an interesting episode where Ninema comes face to face with patriarchy. She comes face to face with male chauvinism. After she has closed down her stall and she's there moving back to her home, a man out of nowhere approaches her. The man blocks her way and she stares at the man straight in the face. The man answers by grinning mischievously. She has not seen this man around before. Suddenly, the man extends his arm and pinches her erect nipple. That is kind of an intrusion into Nenema's privacy. And could be such a man, or maybe other men, goes on doing this over and over again. But the man has Nenema to reckon with. Nenema decides to slowly put down her basket to ensure that her herbs do not break. She removes her champal from her feet and follows the man. This is what she does to the man. She beats him on the back of his head with the sandal. The man turns around shocked, stupefied. Maybe this is the first time such a thing is happening to him. To add to the man's shock, she hits him all over his face and torso, really adding to his astonishment. He is astounded and she will not do anything. As a mark of victory, the women who had also been closing down their stalls answer to Ninema's action with jeers, cheers, and laughter. It is as if victory of the women has been uh, personalized in Nenema's confrontation with the man. Before Nenema leaves him, she gives him a few extra hits with her sandal on behalf of all the women. When her rage is spent, then she goes home. All these illustrations that we have expounded since the beginning of our discussion up to now, they all tell us that with virtue and good character, a woman, even in this 21st century, or facing a patriarchal society, a woman can carve for herself a niche and can do outstanding things, can lead a dignified life. It does not mean that someone must really get employed in a multi-million company, but whatever one is doing, whatever it falls your lot to do, with virtue and good character, you can lead that life of dignity, and you can challenge dehumanizing aspects, things like poverty, things like disease. You can meet them head on with virtue and good character. If you are watching us for the first time, remember to subscribe to our channel such that the next time we produce a video like this, you'll be the first one to be notified. Also give us that thumbs up button so that our video can be recommended to more viewers and more viewers can benefit out of these literary discussions. Thank you.